record. Okay, so welcome to the extended week ahead. First one back for 2024. Yeah. All right, so now I do obviously do the week ahead that goes to YouTube, just a quick overview of the week. Whereas now, I mean, I know it's Monday and Monday's over, but doesn't matter. We're still going to look into this and go. Now is the time where Mercury is starting to move. Now, tomorrow we have the Mercury square Neptune exact. We have Mars now in Capricorn. So Mars is our drive and our desire to do stuff, action orientated. Capricorn being business, structure, foundations, corporations, how we govern ourselves. It's our reputation. It's the fruits of our labor. So, I'm just sort of looking at all of this. Oh, I'm having a lunar return right now. All right, sorry. And it's like, like I said, Mercury is slowly starting to move and it comes out of shadow on the 21st. So that is still just under 2 weeks away, but it moves into Capricorn on Sunday the 14th. So, we've done a lot of reviewing. We've sat and we've contemplated. We've allowed the universe to talk to us. We've been acknowledging the thoughts that have sort of stuck with us as an indication of what we need to be working on. Mercury is not in the greatest condition in Sag because it's got like too many shiny things, so, but we're getting there. All right. So now, for the beginning of the year, I was saying just write everything down. All right. Don't worry. Don't be a perfectionist because you get 3 weeks into the new year to revise and review. And, when Mercury moves back into Capricorn, it gets sensible. Right now, like I said, it's shiny things. Everything is a possibility. There is potential everywhere. And that's amazing. But even with Venus in Sag, we are loving the feeling of the potential. We could do this and we could do that. Adventure abounds. Jupiter, or Sagittarius is higher learning, like university level learning. So we potentially could, we could be thinking that I might be able to go and do that course so that I can then build this business, so we've got that Sag Capricorn stuff happening. All right, so there's that. So now, whenever we look at Capricorn, its ruler is Saturn. All right, so Saturn is now in Pisces. So what we're doing is where Saturn, structure, making real, responsibility, Pisces, subconscious, our dreams, the things that are in the background, so we are literally making real our dreams. Okay, so this week we just start to get that for forward momentum. Now, for today's one this morning, I was talking about life being a canvas. We've got this big ass canvas in front of us, and generally you don't just throw paint at it unless you're an abstract artist, and I'm sure there are lots of people that throw paint at canvases, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about building the layers. All right, so it's about the detail. It's about the effort that you put in. It's about how many times you try and fail and get back up again. It's about mixing mediums. It's about trying things that we've done before in a new way. All right, because that whole adage of if you keep doing what you've always done, you're always going to get the same results. And I know that's not exactly how it's said, but you know what I mean. We're looking for different ways of doing things. And like as a collective, right now we're at this 29, past half of 29 degrees of Capricorn. All right. So now on the world stage, this does look like the downfall of our governments. And as soon as Pluto moves into Aquarius, that is going to be the people taking back power. All right, because then society, it's Pluto in society. Pluto is also the Lord of the riches. He's the Lord of the underworld. He rules death. And, in the myths, Pluto and hell and all those archetypes are powerful within themselves, like there is always balance. So there is a lot of benefits out of the ripping things out at the roots and starting again. All right. So this is the last bit where we're changing how we govern ourselves as well. Before we, like Capricorn is very well, not materialistic, but it's like the global scale, the one percenters. They want it all. All right. So as soon as it moves into Aquarius, the people are like, no, it's all about us. So where was I going with that one? Not quite sure, but anyway, so moving towards the 19, 20, 21 of January, there is so much power in those days. All right. So the 21st is when Mercury is out of shadow. So, we're at the 8th now, and we are just moving into stronger and stronger times. So I guess in another way, I am like, reinforce yourself. All right. You can expect that things are going to get powerful. I can't think of any other descriptive terms except for you are going to be noticing extremes coming out in the worldview. All right, so let's just move on from today. I think that was pretty much it. Yes, that is it. I think that's Moon square Saturn is actually past now. So, all right, let's just move forward. Hours, Dukes. Hey, buddy. We have a special guest today of Mr. Dougal down here. Big fatty that he is. All right. So now we are at Tuesday. All right. So let me just quickly have a look at Tuesday here. All right. So Tuesday we have that Mercury square Neptune exact at 11:53. Okay. So if we sit and if you need to message me, can you message me on Messenger? Because I'm not going to look into the chat at the moment. All right. Now, so Tuesday. Now, the Mercury square Neptune, again, it does make fogginess, it does make illusion, it does make, but it does give us a place that we can allow the universe to talk to us. All right. So, it does require, I mean, it's a square. There are tensions, but I mean, I was talking the other day about, for me, Mercury square Neptune is the difficulty of sitting still and meditating. Like for me, that's a square. I mean, it looks like a chair as well. So, it depends on what is difficult for you when it comes to that Mercury Neptune stuff. So it might be not quite knowing how you're going to put all of these things into practice or make them real. And that's fine, because we do have that 3 weeks to review. We do have, the development of things. So we don't, if you have faith, we don't need to know how it's going to be done. We just ask the universe and then let it sort it out. Because, I mean, you've heard 1,000 stories of that happening. I don't need to explain how it happens. It just does, So looking at Tuesday, we've got to look at that beautiful Venus, Moon, Mercury conjunction early in the morning. I just feel like this is going to be so optimistic. All right. In the words I wrote, it's a lovely day where you will feel heard and appreciated by those around you. It is definitely a time to reach out and connect. Now, we've almost got this Sun trine Uranus as well. All right, so here we get into the bit. I mean, that is tomorrow. Sun trine Uranus is at 10:45 on Wednesday. And this is where, all right, so for all of us that are creating new things in our life, this is where we get to start implementing the changes that we are making. All right. The things that are feeling good, Sun trine Uranus is sparkly. It feels good. It's exciting, So the sun in Capricorn is that business and, that goal orientated. I want this structure in my life because, insert your own reason here. Do you want to create the business for the money? Do you want to create new structures so that you have comfort and security. I'm pointing, you can't see. All right, but this Uranus in Taurus, it's all about our changing attitudes towards money and finances, comforts and security, our values, our self-worth, um, another one that I've been talking about for a long time is that Saturn in Pisces, all right, and the Capricorn is us looking back at the stories, all right, so the subconscious, the stuff back there that that we have built our foundations upon. All right, so when we were young, we were fed XYZ as how the layers go. Okay, now the whole princess and the pea thing, and in between the layers there's little hurts and damage, and then we just keep building upon it because tough it out, tough. I remember that was one of the ones, especially us Gen X, man. It's like you fall over and you break a bone, it's not till 2-3 days later that your parents take you to the hospital and they're like, oh, it's broken, sorry. Now kids are cotton wooled and all fine, but I'm just saying that for us that are now trying to rebuild our foundations so that it is a solid structure that is relevant to who we are now, this is a great time for you to be sitting in those feel goods, emotionally connecting with the things that whenever I do this, I'm sort of talking about Sagittarius and all that higher understanding that we have that is connected to the universe and spirituality. And the same with Pisces, it's got that universe spirituality connection to it. Whereas Sagittarius is more what we know and what we learn, and and the the things that we are driven to teach ourselves so that we can have self-development, whereas Pisces is more the things that come up, and that's psychic and intuitive and empathy, the vibes, rather than the things we know. All right, so yeah, getting back to Tuesday, being this is the day where you can feel in to the things that so that you can start implementing change, because your understanding of comforts and securities and values and self-worth are changing, and you are building upon those things. Okay, so I mean that was way more than I sort of put in here, but the Venus trine Chiron. I mean, this is beautiful for all of us. We had that Sun square Chiron. Ouch. Oh my God. I built my individuality was built upon these hurts. All right. So Sun in Capricorn, square Chiron in Aries. All right. So we get it. We understood what that was. All right. And now Venus is like, but now you understand it. It's about forgiveness and acceptance and not letting those hurts define us, because we deserve better and we are moving towards a better future. All right. So, and even in this week, there were so many things that had me thinking, I deserve better. And expressing that to you, that you deserve better because you know better, because you're doing the work. All right. So, yeah, so for Tuesday, we had the Sun trine Uranus, the Mercury square Neptune, and also Mars sextile Saturn. Oh, I don't know if so Mars sextile Saturn is starting, which is amazing, because here we go again with the universe, like, let us give you the assistance that you need. By, those couple of days when our brains weren't functioning or they weren't moving, and we were sitting in the thoughts and allowing that stuff to come up, we got the general idea of where we should be heading. So Mars sextile Saturn. Saturn is saying to Mars, if you do this, then I will reward you for the effort that you put out. Okay, so, and Mars wants to put out all the time because that's his job. He drives. He's aggressive. He's the lord of exercise. He's just got, like, he's an energizer bunny. So, um, so yeah, lots of rewards for starting to slowly implement. All right. So here's again with that canvas that we have in front of us. We are just building, layer upon layer. Okay. Now let me move forward to Wednesday. It's one day. All right. So now Wednesday, that Sun trine Uranus is exact at 10:45 a.m. and this is the time to be implementing change. Everything feels sparkly and fresh, unless, of course, you are resisting, and then Uranus in Taurus is cattle prodding you. I mean, it is a trine. There's not really anything negative about a trine. However, you really do need to stop fighting if you are. I don't think anyone here is. I think everybody is, happily cruising into the changes of the new year. But what was there another one? All right. So now for Wednesday, it's pretty much a two-part day. All right. So in the morning, we have the moon in Sag, and then it moves into Capricorn at 12:30. So if you need to implement or you're trying to get some work done, then approach the day with preparation in the morning and getting down to business in the afternoon. All right, so Mercury's still thinking about it. It's still only 3 degrees in, and it's been 8 days. Okay, so it's starting to move. And like I said, for Tuesday, we are feeling into our new understanding. All right, now the moon is conjunct Mars at 7:30 p.m. All right, so this could look like, so once that here, I'll move it into Cap. Okay, let's go. All right, so there's the moon in Capricorn now moving up to conjunct Mars. So be careful that that your desire to get shit done doesn't make you cranky. All right, because Moon Mars, you could be like, I need to get this done. I'm so passionate about it. It's all just the shiny thing. It's the shiny thing. So yeah, I even wrote in the notes here, be careful for being driven to achieve doesn't come across as having our cranky pants on too tight. All right. Now, because also in the evening, not only do we have the moon conjunct Mars at 7:30 p.m., but that's the same time it is sextile Saturn. So like I was saying earlier, if you are steadily working towards, all right, if you are just step by step breathing, working through things, being responsible, being resilient, not just being fly off the handle. And Mars does like being in Capricorn, it does work well. It's got the longevity. It's not burning out of control. It's got vigor, but it's also sensible. All right. So I mean, I don't think it's going to be too crampy. I just think it's going to, we're just going to continue to do things. So, I mean, if you work a 9 to 5, I know Rachel doesn't. She works really weird hours. That evening is you're going to be able to get some work done. So maybe if you want to, reverse your day structure. I mean, I know I don't have a very structured work hours. However, if you do want to plan to sit and do some stuff, I would do it like 3 o'clock onwards. You've just got that determination to just keep going. All right. So, and look at all the rest of the blue. It's just beautiful. Things are feeling shiny and sparkly. And then what else do we have? We've got that. Yeah, that's right. The moon sextile Saturn, which is at 7:30. Anything else for today, for Wednesday? We've still got Venus trine Chiron, Mars trine Jupiter. Like, I was talking about that one earlier. I can't remember what day that's exact, but even that, that is Jupiter is in Taurus now direct. All right, so it has a really intelligent understanding of the finances. Maybe this Moon Mars or Mars trine Jupiter is giving you the ability to implement the learning you have been doing towards that end goal. Right, so there's some smarts about this one, so being smart, working smarter, not harder, is definitely something that I'm seeing and feeling here as well. All right, now in general, the nodes, or actually, what day is that? Sun square the nodes on Thursday. All right, I'll leave that one for the moment because I'm going to move into Thursday. But like I was saying, the moon moves into Capricorn at 12:30. So we have the energy of the new moon starting. All right. So now the new moon is at 20 degrees of Capricorn at 11, or it's around 11 p.m. on Thursday night. So let's just move forward one day. And I'll just go to the 20-degree mark. Is that right? 20 degrees. There we go. All right, let's just work off that. All right, so we have the new moon in Capricorn. Now, for most, all right, we're in the dark of the moon, it is time to rest. It is really hard to force yourself to, be overly active when there's no light being shone from the moon. Like if we didn't have power, and we relied on the moon, it would be that's where it's quiet, it's dark, you sleep. All right. In modern
People used to
society,
go to bed really early.
we
In
don't
the
have
old days,
We used to live on the moon.
about that.
yeah,
Can you
the sun
press
and the moon. Yeah.
Didn't do anything at night. There's at least half a moon.
Elizabeth, can you press mute, please? Thanks,
Sorry,
darling.
darling.
No, you're right, thanks. Okay, so now so we've got the dark of the moon happening on Wednesday for most of the day. So when it comes to our new moon intentions, don't do them on Wednesday. All right. It is time for that quiet contemplation. Now, it's interesting that 20 degrees Capricorn for the Sabian symbols. So they're an oracle that have got a meaning for each of the zodiac. The Sabian symbols is a hidden choir singing during a service. So, and that's just perfect. It's sitting in that quiet of the moment and just listening. I've said this so many times for this period of time. It is about quiet reflection. It's about sitting in the moment. It's about listening to what the universe has got to say to you. All right. So now, so sit quietly today. Write out your intentions on Friday morning. All right. You've got 8 hours either side. So if you get up on Friday morning and you write your intentions then that's going to be good enough. Don't do them on Thursday because I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to do them on Thursday. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So in addition to the new moon, that moon sun is trine Uranus. All right. So we've just had that sun trine Uranus. That is exact still, or that's exact at 8:30 p.m. Now, this is the change that we're allowing to happen because of all the, and Uranus is stationary right now too. It's going direct very shortly. It goes direct on the 27th of January. So what is that? 16th. So another 2 weeks after this, but that planet is not moving. So therefore amplified. Again, it's shaking the bars. Everything else is quiet and listen. And Uranus is like, no, you need to change. All right. So, and also we have the sun starting to square Pluto, starting to conjunct Pluto. Now, earlier I was talking about the 21st of January when we have the sun conjunct Pluto. Within hours, the sun moves into Aquarius, and then within hours, Pluto moves into Aquarius. So we have these big, gigantic with Uranus stationary, and it's like, again, with the reinforce yourself, guys, get your outfits and just know that these things are coming. So when you can see them in your own world, whichever way they're going to come out, wherever they sit in your chart, you can just be like, oh, here's that transformation. Oh my God, there's that crisis. Oh my God, look at that shit getting ripped out from the ground. All right. So that it is coming. All right. And these are the new goals, the new path that we are taking. So in addition to that, so look how powerful this day is because there's just so many things. We have that sun moon square the nodes. So we are also at a very fated time where, the challenges that we have thrown in our path man, we have to change. It's like, I wouldn't even say it's at the, I mean, yeah, I suppose it's like the crossroads. The decision has to be made. You can go that way or you can go that way. So, I mean, that look, even just looking at it, it's like, it's so exact. All right. So now the Sun Pluto conjunction is also about discovering your personal power. So here is again where our self-worth, and you deserve this. What is your magical ability? Owning who you are. We're so much of the stuff in the sky right now is about being authentic, because there is no one like you. What you have to offer is important. There are always going to be your tribe and your family, or your soul family, or whatever, however you want to put it. You are always going to have moths being drawn to your unique flame. Okay. So if this is where you own it and then choose to enact that dream you've been thinking of, the maybe or possibly I could, now is the time to just try it. Just one step in front of the other. Just do it. You're not going to die. You can always go, no, that didn't work. Or, oh, I need to learn something else. Or, you can always make amends as you go, but starting is always that first critical moment. So, okay, I think that's a lot for this day. So let's move forward to Friday. Is there anything else? No, there's not. All right, let me just flip, flip, flip. Friday. Okay, so 9 o'clock Friday. I mean, look at that. We even wake up and we've got that Sun, Moon, Pluto. Whew. So, but we do have a beautiful, that view, that Venus in trine Chiron is exact. And then we also have the Mars Jupiter exact. So I think those two influences definitely counteract the potential volatility of all of this stuff. I still would emotionally check in with yourself, or forgive other people if they don't know the stuff and they're not aware of their own behavior. I would be like, you can either ask them if they know what they're doing. I saw a really good one the other day, and I knew this anyway, but if someone insults you or give you a really, really hard time, it's better to ask them if they're okay. Is something on your plate? Do you need help? Rather than be like, you, like if someone's attacking you and you're not quite sure why, then, the best response is, are you okay? Because you're just going to be like, they're going to be like, oh my God. But this is that type of thing, of an involuntary explosion. So Venus's answer to that is to cuddle the person, and Mars knows better. Mars is like, yes, I have the understanding that maybe someone feels uncomfortable, therefore, they're attacking a governing body. People could be mad at the man, that type of thing. But yeah, like I said, Venus is like, no, give him a cuddle, tell them that I understand. So there's quite a few beautiful things. Yes. All right. So let's have a look. So that was Friday. Let's go forward to Saturday. Now I'm excited because on Saturday I am going to be in Sydney at the amazing Water Trio Astrology Ladies event on Saturday and Sunday. And now late on, 2 p.m. on Friday, the moon moves into Aquarius. So it's still being ruled by Saturn, so still very responsible, but now it's in the realm of groups and friends and, future potential. So, we've had this transformation and this crisis. We've been thinking about our new foundations and how we can get down this new road. The yellow brick road has been exposed, being the nodes. That crossroads moment where we're choosing which way we're going. So on Saturday, it's a wonderful day to spend with friends and kindred spirits. And it's likely to be soulful and healing, propelling you into a new, comfortable zone. Embrace all you can, because what you learn today will have you shining brighter than ever before. All right, because we have all these other beautiful aspects. All right. So I mean, the just came into my mind then is, obviously we're going to be, we feel fear when we have new things to do. I mean, I know for myself, even just thinking about going to this event, I had so much anxiety, but then I talked myself around it because I'm like, that's an old version of me. And when I actually went into it, because I'm doing this Denise Duffield Thomas work where, I mean, she's talking about money, but for me, it's second house. Or for everybody, money is second house. But I have my Chiron there and I'm having my Chiron return. So I'm looking at that self-worth. And when I actually allowed myself to go into the uncomfortable feelings, I realized that there were quite a few events in my teenage years that I had humiliation. And so when I was looking at why I had fear of both expanding my business to go to YouTube and then both going to an event where I had, peers that I look up to, it ended up going back to these events in my teenage years where I was humiliated and I forgave myself. And now I'm like, I can't wait to go and do this because I know my worth, because I went through the discomfort to look for the root cause. So here is that, the overarching story that we have is looking at our early foundations and the stories that we have been fed and told ourselves so we can rewrite the narrative so moving forward is more authentic and blah blah blah. Okay, so I hope that you can connect with this story and you see the relevance in your own life. If you don't, at the end of this, we can have a chat, or I can see if I can, I don't know, maybe make it look different for yourself. But you know what I mean? Like we have this amazing future ahead of us. Pluto moving into Aquarius, full stop, is a entirely new era. All right. Now, not only that, this year we have Jupiter moving into Gemini, which is on the 26th of May. So like in 5.5 months, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and understanding, is moving into Gemini, where we can communicate, and it's about our thoughts and it's about, sharing knowledge with people. So there's so much changing, but it takes us being resilient and knowing our worth to allow the new path to unfold for us. Okay, so that was Saturday. Sorry, I got a bit excited on that one. All right, so anything else okay, so for Saturday, now we have a sextile to Chiron at 3 p.m. All right, this is beautiful because you know, you know, we can relate, we can see how all of those old hurts have, you know, how it has emotionally affected us in groups. I don't know. So Chiron in Aries, our hurts as an individual and how we fit into the group. All right. So that's a really lovely one for 3 o'clock on Saturday. And then in the evening, we have the moon square Uranus. Yeah, but it's also paired up with a moon sextile Venus. So I think, even though there might be some tension and maybe a little bit of fear, that sextile to Venus is also just going to allow us to, have that card. And we still have that Venus. Oh, actually, we're now moving into, this is still for Saturday. We are now moving into Venus in conjunct Aquarius. All right. So, my view on that one is this is us having to brace our core and find our balance within. All right. So we can make the necessary adjustments. Now, Venus is also trine the nodes. So that path forward, man, Venus is like there. She's like, yep, I am strong. I am resilient. I know my shit, and I'm going to move down that path. So again, all these beautiful aspects. Okay. Oh, and also Uranus is in conjunct the South Node. So Uranus is making the adjustments that we need to release that South Node stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of movement, but overall there is so much more positive than there is negative. All right, I even wrote it in pink. That's how much I like that day. All right, so now I will move towards Sunday. Okay, so Sunday we still have the moon in Aquarius up until 2:30 p.m. So you know it's gonna move into that watery, empathetic, beautiful, probably a few drinks if I think about it. So most of the day is going to be beautiful for listening and learning and establishing. It will serve you well. All right. So deal with any tensions that pop up as a lesson that needs to be addressed. So, like I said, there is tension, but the universe is showing you things so that you can address them. All right. So for Sunday, there is a sextile to Mercury, which is part of that listening and learning. There is the moon coming up to conjunct Saturn. That's at 10 p.m., but that's just us knowing that we can move and work towards things. All right. So Saturn in Pisces, again, Saturn is rewarding you for the effort that you put in to this future path. And it's also conjunct Hygieia. So you're doing the good things for yourself as well. You're making sure that your mental health and your well-being is in check. So I'll just actually change my earlier statement that there's probably going to be drinking. Maybe there won't be. All right. Now, so in addition, we have Mercury moving into Capricorn at 1:50 on Sunday. This is brilliant. All right. So we're going to really start to, those cogs are really clicking into gear. Things are making sense. And what else is there? And then we also have Sun sextile Neptune starting. That's beautiful for allowing all that stuff to come up and flow beautifully. And of course, the sun moving closer to that conjunction with Pluto, which is just transforming the whole landscape of your life. So don't fight it. Okay, so that's pretty much my extended week ahead, guys. I will stop this share and I will just pause the recording